It's your boy Raindrop, Raindog, Rain Drizzle, and my co-host, co-captain, Cult Conspirator, Uncle Juju.
What is up, babies?
How's everybody doing? Welcome back to BXTV, aka Back from Hell, your Spotify and YouTube podcast where you didn't know everything you needed to know. With your boys, Rainy and Juju. So make sure you drop a like, a comment, and a subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And follow if you're on Spotify. I need to keep uploading there. But welcome back. Just before we get into it, the schedule tonight is comic book of the week, which is Ghost Rider Final Vengeance #1. I know we're a week behind on that. And then we're going to talk about X-Men 97 and the newest episodes of Invincible. And probably a couple other things here and there. So, yeah, make sure you get up in here. And I just want to tell everybody that. So if you haven't seen these things, you're not, like, ruining it for yourself. Or if you can't see them and you just want to know, like, we're going to talk about it. So.
Yeah. Spoilers right now.
Spoiler warning. So maybe come back later. But if you don't know, Comic Book of the Week, we basically take a book usually relevant to try to, like, see if it's worth reading or not for people who haven't checked it out. This week, we have picked Ghost Rider Final Vengeance #1, 2024, March 13th. The writer is Benjamin Percy, and the penciler is Danny Kim. And the cover art, like the main cover art, it was Juan Ferreira. I don't know how to say that. But yeah, basically, I don't know, man. I almost passed up on this book, and then I grabbed it, and I was glad I fucking grabbed it, and I actually, by the time you guys see this, there'll be a YouTube short out on what basically went down in this book. So if you don't want to watch this whole video, you can go watch the YouTube short and get filled in 60 seconds, but you're going to miss out on a lot of good stuff. There's visuals, though, in the YouTube short. There's a bunch of panels and all that. But, yeah, basically, this is about Johnny Cage losing Ghost Rider, the Spirit of Vengeance, and him trying to find a new host, which I thought was really fucking cool. I really enjoyed seeing, like, what happens when Ghost Rider is trying to, like, find a host for vengeance, and, like, all the different people and things he goes through. Like, they did so many cool panels where he's just bouncing around, and, like, even, like, the blades of grass and the Scarecrow get engulfed by him at one point, and, like, I don't know. Benjamin Percy writes a lot of stuff. Before we even get into it, he fucking did. I know he does Wolverine. Yeah, Sabretooth War, Wolverine, Darth Maul. What else? I feel like I'm missing some shit. X-Force, Predator and Wolverine. That was all right. So yeah, he's not, like, I wouldn't say he's, like, my favorite writer, but, like, he kind of knows what he's doing. So I feel like, at least in this book, he definitely knew what he was doing for this issue.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to tell you that. It was very evident that he knew what he was doing. He knew the lore very well. And I like the fact that he's a disembodied spirit, right? So it's not your typical comic book of, like, an action hero fighting a villain per se, because there's not really a major villain in this. It's just him trying to find
not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. I'm saying, like, in this particular issue.
Well, to one person there's a villain, because Johnny Cage. Oh my god, dude, Johnny Cage. That's fucking funny. That is fucking funny. Oh my god. Johnny Blaze gets left in a tunnel in South Dakota with a giant spider to get killed, because Mephisto is like, I'm tired of this. We need a host that doesn't reject us in what we do. So I have a feeling either him or somebody else, like, did something, and that's why we're even in this predicament. And yeah, I mean, but it's cool though, because, like, they show there's a lot of cool cameos that he like comes across. Like he's Danger from that girl who's like kind of in the X-Men, not in the X-Men. There's a little panel where he's Craven. There's a panel where he's a cop. There's a panel where he's a fucking soldier, like lighting shit up in the battlefield. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He's even a stripper and all the people in the crowd. Like, I was like, yo, what? Like, it was good. And then there's that whole panel where he shows like the kind of people that he's out to get, and there's the mom who's going through poverty with the two kids, and the grandma plants drugs in her house and then calls child services, and then she fucking gets engulfed by the fucking spirit of vengeance and just burns the shit out of her. Check out the Instagram or check out the YouTube short for that, because that is a great panel. It's worth looking at.
I'm glad you called that one out.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did, because I was thinking the same thing.
So I mean, we see though that, like you said, not necessarily a villain in this book, but there's like quote unquote bad guys, you could say. Like,
yeah, there's bad people.
And I mean, it was crazy too, because the grandma's like calling the kid when she's in like Ghost Rider form, and the kid's like, "No, I want mommy. She'll protect us." And it's like, yo, savage, like fuck you anymore, you know?
Like, I take issue with overbearing grandparents like that, because being a parent, you do hear horror stories, especially involving mother-in-laws. And just to kind of see that as a dad, I'm like, yeah, bitch, fucking bird. You and every Karen, you and every grandma Karen like you.
Yeah,
It was cathartic.
Nah, for surely. But then finally, we land on this man, that is doing like a seance, and it is the Hood. We land on the Hood. He is. Ghost Rider takes possession of him, and I believe that is who the new Ghost Rider is. But for anybody who doesn't know, the Hood, Parker Robbins, is a supervillain appearing in comic books published by Marvel, created by writer Brian K. Vaughan, artist Kyle Holtz, and Eric Powell. The character was introduced in his own self-titled limited series, which started with the Hood #1 in 2002. Robbins was originally a petty criminal until an encounter with a Nasanti demon, which he defeated and robbed of its hood and boots, gaining superpowers in the process, such as levitation and invisibility as the Hood. He became a well-known figure in New York City criminal underworld and eventually formed his own crime syndicate. So that is who we now have as Ghost Rider. While Johnny Cage fights for his life against a spider or whatever happened. I don't think that's the end of him though. I think the Hood is gonna do some like fucked up shit, and Johnny Cage is gonna get word of where the Spirit of Vengeance is, and like I low key think the Spirit of Vengeance is gonna realize like this man is up to no good, and I mean I'm being for real though. Like this is really what I think is gonna happen. Like I think like, and something with the Hood being like he has his magical boots and hood, some reason Ghost Rider can't leave him. You know what I mean? So I think Johnny Blaze is going to try and steal the Spirit of Vengeance back, essentially.
Plausible and entertaining, especially if they keep doing it in the style of which they are.
Oh, the art was fucking. The art was great. Yeah. Like I texted my buddy and I was like, that was a solid grab. They did a foil variant that was like $10. It looks bad fucking ass. Like if you ever get a chance, Google Ghost Rider Vengeance #1 foil variant. It's not gonna look as sick. It won't look as sick on computer because you can't see the foil. But if you ever like, if I can find one, I'll grab it. But no, yeah, the art is no short of goodness. Like I texted my buddy though and was like, that was a great grab. Like I read it 2 times. I technically read it like 5 times because I was making the YouTube short, so I kept looking at the panels that I already have read. But probably more than 5 times then. But either way, I just like wasn't annoyed because like the art was good, and I just kept noticing little things, and like educating myself on more of what I read,
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, like we're kind of in for a treat. Like this could be what's up. Like
Can I cite one of my favorite panels just on the art and also
yeah,
kind of like
yeah, yeah.
cool things that they did? Is when he went to the chick who's in the X-Men but not what was her name?
Danger.
Danger. He implemented a satanic computer virus.
Yeah, and
And
like
it showed like
possessed
the
everybody.
binary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
then
it's like
everybody on their phones getting possessed by it. Yeah,
yeah.
that was pretty cool. That's in the short as well. I put that in there. So you guys are not left short. No pun intended.
Ah,
Nah, but
ah.
I would probably give I probably give this a 9 for first issue. I'd probably give this a 9.
I- I'll give it a 9.5 because I liked the fact that Ghost Rider and Johnny Blaze are synonymous at this point in like comic book
Well,
history. They've been together.
there's like yeah, but go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, like there are a few instances where like maybe like something happens, power transfer, whatever. But this was like basically saying that like no, Ghost Rider reincarnates itself every few 100 years or whatever it is. The spirit of vengeance must rise and it must find a host. So it's kind of saying that like there are more than one Ghost Rider running around,
Well,
and
so
you know,
just real quick, since you're not hip, there's like 3 well-known Ghost Riders in Marvel Comics. There's Johnny Blaze, there's Robbie Reyes, and there's Danny Ketch. So like that is a thing. Like this wasn't the first time they did that. I do have to like be clear on that.
yeah. I'm also saying that like to the layman me because I'm not a hyper fan and I don't read a lot of Ghost Rider. Um,
Well, that's what I'm telling
when you
you.
think of Ghost Rider, yeah.
Well, I'm
When you
telling
think
you.
of Ghost Rider, you
I'm
think of
telling
Johnny
you.
Blaze.
I'm saying like when you think of Ghost Rider, you think of Johnny Blaze, and that is
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
lack, which is fine.
Yeah, I like.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying you can't say that for everybody. You can't say
no,
here.
no, no. But
Like that's just kind of
like
like.
that
I mean, like for most
that point
people,
five is
yes, but like you probably didn't even know those 2 other dudes existed. You know what I'm saying?
no, to be honest with you, no.
Yeah,
Like
like
I was vaguely aware of the Western Ghost Rider because I think I looked it up on the stream at one point. Um, but other than that, like Ghost Rider to me, my frame of reference is fucking Nicolas Cage.
Alright, shut up. Shut up right there. Stop there. That's where we're done. All right, Final Vengeance #1. Put it on your pool list, guys. If you like if you
Yeah.
don't like Ghost Rider, don't put it on your pool list. But if you like Ghost Rider, put it on your pool list. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that we're all here for, there's a few things that have come out. You know what I mean? And basically, we all are excited and you know what I mean? So, with that being said, X-Men 97, my boy. I'm playing the theme song right now.
Yeah. I'm playing into my head.
So good, dude. So fucking good. Literally, like, unbeatable. Unfucking beatable. X-Men 97, though, man. First 2 episodes dropped on Disney+. Everybody's talking about it. Even LeBron James is tweeting at fucking Disney about when's the next episode coming out. Like, I mean, dude, it hit home on so many levels. Like, the animation is kept the same, but they upped it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I'm so hype. Like, whenever we see Sabretooth, I can't wait to see him all fucking scary, like, in, like, the way they do it. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, but that and, like, keeping the voice actors, like, they pick it up right at the end of the last episode of X-Men 96. So, like,
Yes.
it's, I don't know, man. I was very, very excited going into this, and it, like, my expectations were high, but I was blown out the fucking water, like, off rip.
In preparation for this, I watched the first season of the original, the X-Men 96 now, I guess is what we're calling it.
Yeah. That's what they're calling it on Twitter, so.
Yeah. Taking off my nostalgia goggles. The animation in this one, because I felt like they had the time and more importantly, they had the money.
Well, technology.
And technology as well. Like, they are similar. It is a similar style, but they upped the ante so much with what you could do with that 90s style.
Oh, dude, like off rip when they're fighting the fucking Sentinels, like
yes, yes.
You know what was even better is when Cyclops and all them are in, what is it, Blackbird?
Yeah.
They're going to the desert to go find Trask or whatever, and the plane gets attacked by like a half-broken Sentinel, and as soon as Cyclops hits the blast, like, and cuts the whole arm off, I was like, dude, this feels like early anime on like Toonami, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like way amped up in like color and stuff. Like the color wasn't flat, the lines weren't as flat, they were more bold and thicker. Like, dude, and then when he hits the most dramatic superhero landing, everybody's getting picked up by like the flying superheroes, and Cyclops just blasts the beam to the ground and lands. That was my favorite fucking scene. Almost was like, cause dude, I was never a Cyclops guy. Like, you know what I mean? I was always cuck hater Wolverine. He is low key just a cuck hater. But I've realized that now. But Cyclops, like, they really, like, I feel like they showed out on him just to be like, yo, this is your leader. Like, at least for that moment, you know?
Yeah. And honestly, like,
and hold on, real quick. He goes, to me, my X-Men. It was like, all right, like, this is your X-Men, my dog. Like, they're yours.
Yeah.
Like, you got that one. Everybody come in. He rang the dinner bell. Like, it's daddy's home.
Dude, my favorite part with him was when the guy like takes the visor off and he's just like, "What are you gonna do without your visor?" He's like, "Oh no, what will I do?
I surrender."
He just,
no, he goes, no, I surrender. Not. And he just it literally pans out and the whole building goes red and like the windows break or whatever, which I like. I like that they made it, like, they're cussing a little bit, they're saying damn, and, like, they're making adult jokes. Like, they 100% made this for us. They were like, fuck all you young kids, like, you got plenty of cartoons and shit. Where's everybody that fucking watched this growing up? And then everybody who went back to it when they turned, like, 9 to 10 years old and their parents, like, we're like, yeah, fine, watch X-Men. You know what I mean? Watch the 1990s X-Men that, like, I watched. And, like, now, nah, bro. Like, and Gambit, they made Gambit fucking slutty as shit. They made him slutty as shit. Everybody everybody on Twitter is like, why are they making Gambit, like, quote-unquote gay-looking with the crop top and everything? And everybody was like, Did you not realize since the very beginning he was bisexual? And this guy made a whole breakdown on why Gambit's bisexual, and I was like, yo, low key, like he, like, yo,
He's
this is
got a thing for Rogue, though.
no, he does. You can be, but bisexual. We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Yeah,
But he's
we'll get into
definitely
that.
slutty. They got him all fucking acting like a little like city boy dude, like not city boy, but the quote that people use for like the modern man slut term is city boy. So like juggalo is what the old term would be.
Yeah.
He's just like crop top with his abs ripped and the short shorts, like.
Or was it? They were playing like, was it volleyball?
Yeah,
No, they're playing
basketball.
basketball.
Dude,
That's
no.
right.
We skipped something. We skipped something huge. Storm's entrance gave me goosebumps.
I can actually say, for the first time in a long time, I actually like this version of Storm.
Well, cause it's the Storm, like it's what you want. Like, dude, like she came in just swinging, bro. And then she just fucking electrocutes everybody, dude. Like, oh my god, man. Like, I was really digging the intro, man. Like, they didn't even really use like everybody in the first fight either. So like, you just got like, all right, like y'all are like the A team. Like when and let's not forget who they're saving. Spoiler alert: Sunspot. The kid they're rescuing at that facility in the very beginning, that's Sunspot. That's soon to be Sunspot. Like when he's doing the solar energy thing at the end of the episode, like
Yeah.
that's Sunspot, bro. He's an X-Men.
I actually liked his character in that he was a mutant who like, and again, like hadn't told his parents or anything, but he's just rich as shit and like
He didn't want to be a mutant.
You know, he doesn't want to be a mutant. I mean, like, and that's been played out a few times, but this one it just felt more fresh.
Yeah,
you know,
'cause,
like,
I mean, if you guys don't know, they're basically like they've made a pact with mutants at the moment. Like, because of what happened to Xavier, they've made like a treaty with mutants. And yeah, and they're basically trying to rescue this kid who becomes Sunspot. And he's just like keeps running away, and these dudes who have like Sentinel technology are hunting him down. And when they go to the club to find him, I loved when they walk. Oh my god, because I play Marvel Snap, and every time you play Jubilee, her ability is that she plays a card from your hand, and when she does it, it like does a snap sound, and then it does fireworks, and then fireworks play on the card game, and the card comes down. So when the fireworks sound happened, I just saw Marvel Snap, and I was like, I appreciate you so much more because I played this dumbass card game. Like, and like I love that she's dancing and vibing and just doing the fireworks, and I was like, yo, imagine it's 1997 and you're on fucking Molly for the first time. Or on, you're on ecstasy. It wasn't Molly then. It was ecstasy.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was ecstasy.
You're on ecstasy, and this fucking bitch, this is just like, you know what I mean? She's not a bitch, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you're just throwing fireworks in front of you. But little do we know, he can turn into the fucking sun's dick. Like,
yeah.
And then you get the first. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Jubilee was, when they did the first X-Men movie, was the one character that I was most excited about to see in live action, and it never happened. I was really disappointed in that.
Yeah, because I feel like she had a very niche following. You just appreciate, you're like me. You really appreciate these characters that are just like supporting roles. Because we understand that like they're super, super, super like crucial to telling a good story. Because without them, you don't have this quirky like uplifting person, or this like in Wolverine's fact, you don't have this Debbie Downer tough guy. You know what I mean? And having him, Jubilee, and all the
Yeah.
like magnet, like it's almost like magnets. You know what I mean? They don't they don't connect, but like
Yeah.
they're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Like,
And
you get what I'm trying to say, though?
yeah. Like they all kind of coalesce into this thing that is called the X-Men.
100%. But to your point
One
earlier,
of the things,
oh, go ahead. Sorry,
yeah,
I cut you off.
one of the things I was gonna add is in the initial first season of the original series, Jubilee was a great entry point for kids because she was of the age or a little bit older than the viewership. So it allowed them to kind of enter this world through her perspective. And then later on, you meet the rest of the team and it becomes about the X-Men. But in the initial episodes, it was about her.
Yeah,
So
no.
I felt like doing Rogue was a great move for the movie, but like they serve the same function, you know, like
Yeah, but like Rogue is like actually like cracked. You know what I mean? Jubilee just shoots fireworks.
yeah,
um,
yeah,
but I was gonna say to your point earlier, when they're in the club, that's the first instance you get of well, the first instance is when they walk in the door and Gambit is like basically like, let's go mingle to Rogue. And then they go upstairs and she's like, I wish I could dance with somebody. I'd leave them with a nasty hangover. And he's like, any man be worth getting a hangover from you, lady.
no.
And like she starts like touching his glove or whatever. And it's like, and that ends up being an important factor though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yes.
cause after they rescue this kid and shit, they're like all like Cyclops is doing this speech about how he's probably gonna leave the X-Men, and guess who fucking shows up? Magneto.
Magneto. With
Charles.
the will of Charles
Yeah.
Xavier.
It's a book. It's a fat ass fucking book. I was like, damn, how much fucking demands you have, motherfucker? You let him a day by day play on how to run this bitch, didn't you? But basically told Magneto he left him everything and was like, I want you to run the school and like make sure humans and mutants can like live together.
Again, is a fucking fascinating choice for that role. Somebody who has experienced humanity at its absolute abject worst. We can all agree that like
yeah. You gotta
Magneto's hatred
yeah,
it's earned. And the fact that he now has to make this pivotal character shift in his worldview is fucking fascinating. And I've been a big Magneto fan. I loved him in the comic books. I loved him in the animated series. I've always been a huge Magneto stan. But this turn is fucking pivotal and so great to see. Because it's again like the evolution of these characters given the point in time. Like for us, for years, for them, it's like what, a couple of years after the death of Charles Xavier?
Yeah, like a year or two maybe. So
Growth. Growth
yeah.
in a character makes the
Well, he
character
also
interesting.
talks about his friendship with Charles. That like the reason he wore the helmet. That's when you find out him and Rogue had a thing. Is like he said he wore the helmet because he couldn't like he felt like if he could feel Xavier, he would become like lean into his good side, like and not do
Yeah,
what
he would feel.
Yeah, he wore the helmet to like never do that for mutants. So that was also like a giant moment because it's like, oh, okay, we're like understanding more of Magneto and what who he is.
He's again like that ambiguity of morality. Is he good or is it like the perception of evil, for instance? Like a person does something that is morally bad but for good reasons.
Oh,
You know,
100%.
and also vice versa, a person does something good for totally bad reasons.
Well, I mean,
you know?
yeah, because in episode 2, basically, like, you find out like he goes and turns himself in to the whatever people, the feds, and he goes on trial, and an executioner tries to kill him, and like, you want to tell it? He basically takes him up to the top of the fucking, like, above the earth.
Yeah. Well, first, someone very important takes the hit for Magneto.
Yes. Well,
that is important to note, but we're not going to tell who. But he takes him, Executioner, and basically the judges who are going to judge his fate, and takes them all the way out into space, like above the planet's atmosphere, and basically turns around and tells them that, like, everything that he did in the past he knew was basically wrong. But the dream of Charles Xavier was something worth saving, that this planet that we are on is just a marble in a sea of emptiness that is worth protecting. And that, to me, like I was talking about this earlier with Rainey, it was the most emotional scene I think I've felt in an X-Men show in a very long time. And it was so earned.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
cathartic. It was
100%.
like, look at the fucker, like, this is it. This is all we have. This is everybody. And you're gonna fucking cry for justice when I'm trying to bring us together and do something worthwhile. In the name of somebody who was like Dr. King for mutants, like. And again, like, Charles Xavier is a very flawed person. So was Dr. King, but he still achieved something that we have to say is an accomplishment for humanity. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
being
no.
grandiose.
You're
It's
100%.
important.
No, 100% though. Like, that moment was something, dude. I was watching at my buddy's house, stoned as shit, and I was like, this is almost too much. But but yeah. So another thing to note: Jean Grey is pregnant, and
Yes.
basically, at the end of episode 2, somebody knocks on the door, and it's Jean Grey. The actual Jean Grey, because I'm pretty sure. So if I'm correct, the Jean Grey that's pregnant is Madeline Pryor, and that's baby Cable.
I heard that theory because immediately was just like, okay, what the fuck? Shooting, like, someone's got to explain this to me, like, before my brain melts. And
It's just from the
I
source
don't know.
material.
Yeah.
No, like the stuff that they source from. There's like multiple stories that include like Jean Grey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a clone, Madeline Pryor, and like created by Mr. Sinister, who is gonna be the villain of this show. I'm pretty positive. I mean, he's in the intro if you look closely when Morph is shooting the gun. Like, Mr. Sinister's in the eyes. So
It's such a great little Easter egg drop.
yeah,
Like, something you wouldn't notice, kind of blink if you miss it.
it is, and I was high as shit. I only noticed it because I watched the intro every single time. I refuse to skip the intro. The intro button skip intro doesn't exist when that show's on.
No. And can we talk about for a minute when they're fighting the Sentinels that they actually played the original theme song? Not the one that they remastered for this show.
No, I know.
They played the old one.
No,
Which,
yeah, that shit.
Again, when they made the movie and you saw the intro, they did the da-na-na-na, and then you're like, nah, and they don't do it. And you're like, oh, Bryan Singer, you fucked up. You could have done like an awesome version of that.
Somebody probably didn't want to give him the rights, bro. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Somebody's probably like, fuck
Also,
your
like
movie.
Gambit using the his powers on Wolverine's claws against the fucking Sentinel.
Yeah, and I'm not here to end a debate. People on Reddit say that would blow up Wolverine. No, it would not, because if you look up, Marvel did an anatomy book on all of the superheroes, and Wolverine's claws are not like part of his body. So Gambit can
Yeah.
solely charge the claws and not affect the rest of his body. So that's why he doesn't explode when Gambit charges his claws, because he can't explode antimanium. So that's just, I'm putting an end to that argument, because it's been an
Yeah.
argument, and I just didn't feel like responding on Reddit, so I'm responding here. That is why it works.
If I can find fluorescent purple Legos, I'll fucking make those claws look like that.
Okay.
If I can
Okay.
find like the see-through like neon purple
Just like layered
Legos,
around it.
probably... Yeah.
That would be sick as fuck.
Or like, or you can get the ones that light up.
Yeah,
Because they have like
yeah.
little Lego pieces that have LEDs
Dude, I
in
could
them.
probably just fucking, I could probably just like buy like three little Bluetooth like stick-on light bulbs and just make them purple to light up behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so they glow from behind. Could probably just do that.
I'm sorry, that it was sick, and I just thought of
But yeah,
because you're
no.
talking about the anatomy, and I'm like, I built those things. I built that hand. Like I know
you
exactly
did.
what you're talking about.
It's
Like,
upstairs because I don't want anything to happen to it. It's upstairs with all my fucking expensive shit. Like, well,
yeah, you showed it to me, and I appreciate that you put it upstairs because
it's
like,
on my shelf. Like, so I have my signed Sabu, and then right next to it, it fits between that and my Hobgoblin from the 1990s animated series figure I have in that big ass box from Toy Biz. Which shout out that dude. I heard on Twitter today they're talking about doing an X-Men Spider-Man crossover from those two shows, like in the new stuff.
I'm cool with that.
I'm so fucking cool with that because that show was so.
That was the crossover we needed back in the '90s, man. We needed that, the Fantastic Four, and fucking Spider-Man.
Dude, could you imagine like all the shit they could do, like all the characters they can just like. I'm excited to see like who they add to the X-Men that they have like kept in like secret, because you know they have. There's somebody.
Yeah.
There's somebody we're gonna see that they haven't let anybody know about yet. I just like I feel it. I feel it coming.
Can we also talk about the cameos that Morph does when he's fighting people? Because at one point he turns into Colossus, and then at another point he turns into, I think, Lady Deathstroke.
Yeah, Deathstrike.
Deathstrike, yeah.
Yeah.
And like that character, Mystique was cool, but like the thing that bothered me about Mystique was that like when she did the transformation, came with clothes and everything, and that was a little too like T-1000 for me. Like, if you're gonna shapeshift, at least in the movies, if you're gonna shapeshift, like, you're probably not gonna have actual clothes of the person. You're gonna have to steal them.
Dude, it's fucking. They're superheroes. Who fucking cares? Sorry, who fucking cares? I don't.
But I liked Morph in the way that they did his animation of his transformations from character to character.
I mean, he was fully dressed though too. It's the same fucking thing. So
yeah, I know it's an odd complaint, but
it's an odd complaint that you're not holding accountable for another character that's doing the same thing. So, but whatever. I do like that they gave Morph a little bit of shine though, and like they did cameo those few people. But I think I'm not talking about like a cameo like that. I think there's somebody in the show that we just haven't gotten word about yet that's gonna appear.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're gonna. I also hope that they start pulling. I don't want to say like side characters because that sounds weird, but like the lesser known ones,
Well,
like
that's what,
especially from the
yeah,
cartoon.
yeah,
Like,
for sure, for sure. I'm
and
here
I
for it,
also
dude.
hope. I hope Juggernaut makes an appearance.
Yeah, I mean he's in the intro if I'm correct.
Yeah,
So
because he's.
yeah, like Sabretooth, him, and all those other fools. Because I saw a picture of them comparing it. They left somebody out. I forget his name, but they left him out. I think it's Warpath. Maybe, maybe not. But either way, I definitely think everybody should be watching this, especially if you grew up and you know about the first one. Like, run, don't walk is what I posted on my Instagram story. I was like, yo, you need to. Everybody needs to like go watch this shit right now. It's so good, and I'm so excited for episode 3.
I like. I'm with LeBron. Come on, Disney. Hurry, don't hurry it up, but just give us a date.
Yeah, give us
Um,
some.
I think this is one of the best pieces of X-Men media outside of the comic books that there has been in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm excluding Deadpool from that assessment. I'm talking about standalone X-Men alone. This was one of the best. Deadpool, the first one, is also on par with this, actually, now that I stop and think about it, because it had all the characters that I wanted to see in X-Men.
Fair enough, yo. Yeah, no, I
So,
agree. I agree. But yeah, dude, fucking dope shit. Speaking of Marvel shows, though, there's rumor going around on Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram that Seth Rogen is going to write and produce a rated R animated Venom series for Marvel. I think if that is true, I absolutely fucking need it. Like I don't he's turned so many things from comic books into shows and movies that are good that like I I have no I am so he has my blessing. You know what I mean? Like if he needs nerd blessing, there it is. Like I think every are you like okay with that? Cuz I feel like no I feel like anybody who's not is silly.
um, I watched I got through half of the Ninja Turtles that he did, last night because of you. Because we were talking turtles, and
Oh,
I
fun
ended up
fact.
watching it.
Let me tell everybody. John's not here this week, so I'm pretty sure he's buying figures right now on whatnot. But don't tell his wife. But we're doing in May. We're gonna do Michael Bay Ninja Turtle. We're gonna do Michael Bay May, where we watch Ninja Turtles, the 2 Ninja Turtles live actions, and some of the Transformers. So make sure you're fucking here. Make sure you fucking
Yes, make sure you're
subscribe.
here.
What did you think of the half that you watched, though?
Oh, I first of all, one of the things that I thought was really funny, but also like we were talking about like weird nostalgia, like of its time. This movie felt very much like that because of all of the cultural references that they were going through,
Oh yeah, dude.
and it was like, give this movie 10 years, and like the kids who didn't see it will not understand anything that these
When
guys
they
are
talk
talking
about,
about.
did you see the part where they talk about Riz?
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
god, yo,
Like,
that shit.
also, like to be
Me and
fair, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It has to be relative to teenagers of
this time,
today.
dude, and
Yeah.
me and Chris, Brain Dead Legend. If you guys don't know, he's one of my best friends. We smoked 3 spliffs. We were putting one out in the parking lot of the Bow Tie as we pulled up to see that movie. So we were stoned as shit. And dude, I laughed the whole fucking time. Like literally belly laughing because I was like, dude, Seth Rogen made me feel like a kid again, like in the best way. Like I just like, and tell me if I'm wrong. It 100% felt like 2023's Ninja Turtles. Like
Yes.
it felt like classic
Yes.
Ninja Turtles, but it was like you said. It had the modern tones, all the references. Like he's wearing a fucking Attack on Titan no, he's wearing a not Attack on Titan, JoJo's anime. It's bizarre,
JoJo's Adventure.
but JoJo's Bizarre
Yeah.
Adventure hoodie in one scene, like Donatello is, which I have Leonardo and Donatello upstairs from that movie. I need to get Raphael and Michelangelo. Those are the only like real Ninja Turtle figures I own because one, they're cheap, and two, I just love that movie so much that I will complete the original like line. Like I thought Seth Rogen fucking murdered that. Sorry, I didn't mean to bulldoze you. I just, you know
No,
me.
you're good.
I fucking
Yeah.
I love Turtles, and
Yeah.
I said that movie should have won Animation of the Year, like over everything personally.
It's hard to argue because Amazing Spider.
Can I tell you?
Spider-Verse.
Can I tell you why it should have won it over that though? Like respectfully, because that movie definitely was worth it. They already had a shot. They had I think they already won it once already with the first one.
Yeah, with the first movie. Yeah.
So my respectful opinion is this rebranded a franchise that everybody loves just as much as Spider-Man, if you ask me. And they did it in like a unique way, and the difference, like they kind of like did what Across the Spider-Verse did. They reached into like their like identity bag. They were like, this is us until like it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I say like I think it should have won Animation of the Year. Is just like, one, it was just so fucking funny. The soundtrack is fucking amazing. Yeah. I know you were digging that soundtrack. There was some Wu-Tang in there. There's some Canadian rap. There's some like other '90s hits. There's some modern shit. Like, did you get to meet Superfly?
Yeah, I got to that part.
Okay.
And then like
hands down,
then like it got to like 3 a.m, and I was like, I have to be at work at like 7, so I gotta go.
Did he not? Was that not like one of the funniest fucking intros to like a villain ever though? Like the way like they're like driving the car and like he's just like rolling it, dude. I love him. I will own him as a figure.
I loved the bowling alley sequence with all the fucking music.
Yes, dude.
Like, one thing though that I would like to add to the Amazing Spider-Man that I thoroughly enjoyed is that if you freeze frame at any given point in time that movie, all like the different panelings and like scribblings and stuff actually like mean something relevant. So telling you like which comic book the character came from, what issue, you know, and then they borrow from each different style of Spider-Man from the past. Whereas Ninja Turtles, this is a completely new style that we're not going to do a lot of those references to like the past Turtles or whatever. You know, it was kind of like this is going to be its own thing.
Yeah, and that's why I personally think it was more worthy of a nomination because it rebranded, it took a risk, and it fucking landed. Like
it landed. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. I was laughing.
Yeah, dude. That's all my Spotify likes. Like, I listen to that song way more than I'd like to admit because my Spotify likes. Because I liked a straight Mutant Mayhem playlist that somebody made from the movie on Spotify. You got me in the habit of doing that shit, bro. A fucking liking movie playlist. Like, But, so yeah, now I listen to that way more often than I like to admit. So, you're probably going to see on my Spotify rap next year, Vanilla Ice Ninja Rap.
So let me kind of tie this up you asked me what I think about Seth Rogen doing Venom.
Yeah.
First of all, I think that is probably going to be. It could go one of two ways. It's either going to be something of a horror comedy, or it's going to be a horror. Because I feel like he hasn't done anything in the horror genre of note, really. I also would like to see him at least talk to Todd McFarlane and get his opinion of like what the animation style should be. I don't necessarily think it should be like a 90s cartoon or whatever. I'm saying the guy's got an eye for design.
Yeah. I mean,
But
dude,
also, like, you gotta respect
you
Todd and
you
his
haven't
opinion.
you haven't watched Hitmonkey yet though, and I think the animation team is set over at Marvel with Hitmonkey and What If. Like, I think if Seth gets in on it, especially because Seth made Ninja Turtles and that animation was fucking amazing, I think he's gonna do something kind of unique like that. I think he'll reach into his bag of like tricks and be like, let's pull out this kind of style, you know what I mean? Something we've never really seen, and I think that's what will set it over the edge. But I really hope he does something, and I kind of hope he gets like Keith David in on it.
Yes.
I hope
Yes.
Keith David as Venom, maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that voice.
yeah, like
He's one of my favorite Disney villains, by the way.
he did Spawn as well.
Yes. Yes.
And he's Hordak in Masters of the Universe by Kevin Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I know some shit. I just watch shit.
You know, I honestly think a project that would be really good for Seth Rogen,
What?
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that could be
I
fire.
think they needed to take Scooby-Doo out of Mindy Kaling's hands, flush that Velma shit down the toilet, and give it to Seth Rogen, because it's going to be funny and it's going to be scary, and it well, not necessarily scary, but entertaining in a way that a Scooby-Doo project should be.
Yeah, no, I think he would nail that.
And I'm not knocking,
Live
I'm not
action or
knocking the computer
cartoon?
animated. I'm debating that. I'm seriously debating that. I would love to see another live action movie, maybe with a different cast, because I feel like everybody's too old.
Yeah.
I mean, Linda Cardellini looks the same, but everybody else is kind of like too old, I think.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I like the animated. Oh, Sarah Michelle. Yes, Buffy. She needs to do another Buffy.
Yeah. Buffy.
Buffy. I liked the computer animated Scooby Doo's that they did for like the kids movies. Those were fun but I really think in his hands he could make it something great.
All right. I'm here for it.
And still say true to like the Hanna-Barbera,
Yeah. No, I'm here for it. I'm down with it. You ain't gotta argue with me. But my dudes, that's pretty much our hour. So I hope you enjoyed the podcast. John should be here next week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on TikTok and Twitch at BrainDeadXTV and Whatnot. It's all the same fucking joint. No, Whatnot's Fried Rainy. FriedRaini. That is the Whatnot name. You can hit me with an offer on pretty much anything unless it says so. But yeah, dudes, next week we got some shit planned. It will be May, right? No, it'll be April.
Yeah, it'll be April.
Maybe we won't wait till May to do Ninja Turtles. Maybe we'll just do that next week.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what happens between now and next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, remember, dudes, never offended, always recommended. Later.